Hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and I'm so happy that you're here. This podcast is a place for conversations about balancing a healthy lifestyle and being happy. More specifically, happy hour. Together, we'll explore all things wellness and wine. I hope you learn a little, laugh a lot, and along the way, know you're not alone on this balanced wellness journey. Ready to jump in? Pour something in your glass that makes you happy because it's time for Spandex and Wine. Hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and today we're not talking wine, we are talking beer. Brad and Cara Steele opened Broken Hatchet Brewing just before COVID, or slightly after COVID. They brew handcrafted beer and seltzers in the historic downtown Belton, Missouri area. They're a family-owned Nana brewery, and I think you're going to enjoy this conversation that I had with Cara about where they came from, where they came up with the idea, and how they made it all work, and where they're going in the future. Well, hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast, Cara. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Yes. I know my husband and I absolutely love going to different wineries and breweries and distilleries. And we happened upon yours in Belton, Missouri. And it's just so much fun. And the community there is great. I couldn't wait to have a conversation with you.
Well, I'm so glad. Belton's kind of a little hidden gem that people forget about. It's not that far away from Kansas City. Sounds like it and people think it is, but it really isn't.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys have kind of a special story in your how you were inspired to start the brewery and your namesake. So if you wouldn't mind, just kind of take us back to and start wherever you want with your story.
Okay. Well, honestly, first I'll start with the connection of Broken Hatchet to the history of Belton. So Carrie Nation was a figure pre-Prohibition during the Temperance movement. She died in 1911, so really pre-Prohibition. She was the catalyst for Prohibition. So she started her tyrants in Kansas. So she was a reason for like 3.2% beer only, no liquor sales on Sundays, that sort of thing. They call them the Carrie Nation laws. And she is buried in Belton because her family had a farm there. And so she's buried at the Belton Cemetery along with her parents. So she has a big landmark there, or a big tombstone. So a lot of people go there and drink on her tombstone, which we have not done because we don't want to, stir up her feelings. But that's why we are Broken Hatchet. We consider ourselves having broken the hatchet since we opened the brewery. But really, history for us is I'm a retired school teacher. I grew up in Belton.
Okay.
And I taught in Belton for 31 years. So I'm retired from teaching. And Brad is ex-IT corporate guy. And when he went through some layoffs, his team at Cerner was laid off. And he just absolutely did not want to put out another resume, or he just was done sitting behind a desk and all that stuff. So I said, we're in our 50s. What is it that you want to do? So he was already brewing part-time for fun at a couple breweries. And then he was a competitive brewer. We did beer fests and stuff like that, and had been brewing for maybe 6 or 7 years at that time. So he said, I want to open a brewery. And I thought, okay, like seriously, I have no idea how to do that. But if we're going to do it, we can do this together. And there's no plan B. Like, this was plan A. We are not going to fail. And so where do we start? Then he started writing his business plan. Really, from that conversation to the day we opened was about 2.5 years. So It takes a while, to write your business plan and find a financial institution that believes in you as not just another bar, if you will.
Right.
We all said, there are too many bars out there. They didn't know anything about breweries until a banker trusted in us and knew a lot about beer and thought it was great. So at that moment, Brad's homebrewing was called Celebration Brew Co. So that's how he was set up at Beer Fests. Well, there is I believe it's an IPA that in California that is called Celebration Brew. So
Oh, okay.
they let us know in no uncertain words that
Yeah.
that was not going to work for them. So we started looking into the history of Belton, and we really wanted to connect it to the community. And that's how we ended up, in the long run, with Broken Hatchet. And I just feel like it was meant to be, because celebration doesn't even sound right now,
Yeah.
some,
Yeah.
party store or something. And so, yeah, so here we are. Now it's been almost 3 years. We'll celebrate our 3-year anniversary May 28th. Actually, it is May 28th, but we're going to be having a big anniversary party June 1st. It's on a Saturday.
Cool.
And, do it upright. So, yeah,
Oh, I love that.
can't even believe it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming then that you like all different types of beer.
Yes. We both loved craft beer, and it was kind of a hobby of ours, like you and your husband, when we would have time off or the weekend or whatnot, to go to different breweries before he ever started brewing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I literally bought him a Mr. Beer kit for Christmas one year. And it was not very good. And, the plastic bottles, plastic keg,
Yeah.
whatever. And so he bought another one because he wanted to wanted to make it work. And then it was pretty good. So I think Mexican lager was the first one, a little on the flat side. Then the next one was an IPA, and it turned out okay. So he's like, I kind of like this. So I bought him a gift certificate for Bacchus and Barley Corn and Shawnee. I think $200 gift certificate maybe for Father's Day or something. And he came back and said, well, I had to up that by about $700. So
Oh
we
my
had a
gosh.
motorcycle. At the time, we had a Harley, and that was a hobby of ours too, to, enjoy riding that on a nice day like today. And so we had to sell that and turn the third car garage into a little brew house for him. So that's where it all really started.
Wow. Okay, so do you still have that in your home then?
We do, but we can't brew from it legally. If you are a
Right,
professional
right.
brewer, you cannot brew as a home brewer because of government unable to regulate where the beer is coming from, and things like that. That's something we
Yeah.
need to know about. So we have a lot of equipment. He's generously given some away, selling some, and we still have some. So I look forward to
Yeah.
that on now. Yeah. So
It
now
had to
we're
have taken a little while with all the laws. I mean, I can't even imagine how sticky all of that is.
it is beyond what I can even keep track of. He's awesome at it, but every time he tells me of something else that's popped up, just all the permitting, all the licensing, he's amazing at it. But it is a community. The brewery community is a community that supports each other, and um, he would call various brewery owners and just tweak their ear about, how do I do this or how do I do that when it comes to taxes and permitting,
Hmm.
all that stuff. They all help each other so much. And now he's in that position where he gets phone calls asked, paying it forward. He pays it forward and tries to share his knowledge now, because it's a
Yeah.
hard spot to be in. And we don't have partners. It's just he and I, doing it by ourselves. And we are, we started pretty clueless. So
Yeah.
in a road.
Sure. I can imagine. Oh gosh. Yeah. And I would think that one of the fun parts of your job would be to name the beers.
Yeah. I never thought my husband, Brad, was very creative. He would totally agree with me on that. But most of the time, he thinks of the beers names. I mean, really, I think maybe one or two I've thought of. Um, he pumps them out like I just don't know where it comes from. He'll say the name and I think, perfect. Because I'm the
Yeah.
creative one in this relationship. I don't know what happened, but um, it is, he is great at it. So yeah, he
And
thinks,
then,
and they're not all connected to the community's history. A lot of them are, but
mhm.
sometimes, like we have a Giants Medley Belgian Golden Strong Ale on right now, and Giants Medley is a Belgian event in the strongman competition where they carry,
Okay.
like, I don't know, huge amounts of weight in each hand on their sides as they walk down a platform or whatever. And it's called the Giants Medley. And that's where that name comes from. He loves, those kind of competitions. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where that came from. But most of them are tied to the community.
Okay. That's cool. Well, at any given time, how many beers do you have on tap then?
We always have 12 taps going, but
Okay.
now he almost always has two seltzers that we make in house,
Mm-hmm.
and a root beer. He makes his own root beer. So those
Oh,
three
okay.
taps are taken with those items. So yeah, so we normally have 9 beers on tap.
Cool. Yeah. So out of those nine, then, like, which ones are always there? Which ones are evergreen and which ones do you switch out? How many?
That's a good question, and people ask that all the time. So there's there are styles of beer we always have on tap, and sometimes those change. But and
Okay.
since opening, we've kind of changed things out. But it really is the community that determines that, what they love, and sometimes have
Mm-hmm.
surprised us. So, but one that we haven't had since opening, but we've had now for almost 2 years, is the Burnt District Blonde with coffee. So it's a coffee blonde with French caramel cream roastery coffee beans in it. Um,
Oh.
that is overall in the year, if when he's keeping track of what the biggest seller is, um, at year end, that's always the biggest seller. So it stays 100% of the time. And then we have the 1872 Belton beer. It's our domestic style beer. It's a cream ale, but it's our very domestic style cream ale. So if people come in and want a Bud Light, that usually will satisfy them. But
Okay.
1872, because that's the year that Belton became a city. So that's how that is named.
Okay.
Um, and so that stays, and he has changed it and made the 1872 into a blueberry cream ale last summer, a blueberry
Mm-hmm.
vanilla cream ale. So he can take that recipe and sort of tweak it to make it a little more seasonal or whatnot. But that 1872 is usually always on. So, and then
Yeah.
we always have a West Coast IPA. Typically, we have a New England IPA. A wheat beer is generally on. We try to keep a stout, but
Mm-hmm.
just the type will change with the season. So,
Mm-hmm.
coconut stout in the summertime. We have a cookie stout during the winter time, and we have a bakery next door, Mary's Mountain Cookies in Belton. And we'll partner with them. And last year we made a German chocolate cookie stout with their German chocolate cookies. And this year we made a snickerdoodle stout. Their cookies are 1/4 pound. So he put
Oh
72
my gosh.
cookies into that beer. So the general types of beer are stay the same, but we got to
Mm-hmm.
keep it up a little bit with the seasons. We don't want it to get too
Yeah.
boring. So yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Absolutely.
seltzers, we use real fruit and they're amazing. Um, we change the flavors of those,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So how involved are you with the brewing?
well, I would say I'm the creative part of the brewery. So when it came to designing the tap room, the brew house was all his. The equipment and all those things, I had no idea really much about them. That was his gig. But for me, the colors in the brewery, the paintings that we had painted on the wall, any murals, which were done. I'll give a shout out to Herb Shell. He is a friend of ours that is an art teacher in Odessa. So he did all the creative painting on the walls and on the bathroom doors and things like that to make them kind of old fashioned looking. But like my cozy corner, the living room, the wood walls I did with, the sofa and the light fixtures and the painting of the tongue and groove and all that sort of stuff. Like anything kind of creative, I got to pick out chairs and bar stools and, the bar top design and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is
That's fun.
always me. And then I'm the event planner. So any events that we have a lot of private events, a lot of, big events at the brewery, any of those things are my deal.
Cool.
He is the business mind of the brewery and he is the brewer. We don't have any other brewers. He brews everything. So he's busy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think he's brewing today and I believe he is brewing the Cass County Juice New England IPA today. So,
okay.
He's brewed probably 4 times in the last 2 weeks, maybe at the most. And so he's very busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That was going to be my next question. How often you have to brew?
and it depends on the season. So our slowest month of the year is January. And it is dry January, and that makes a big difference. All the breweries complain about it.
Yeah.
But it is, he probably brews 3 times in the entire month of January. And now it's starting to, he had to brew a red ale for St. Patrick's Day. He had to bring back our Garden of England English Pale Ale that's been highly requested, and a Dunkel, and some things that he felt needed to be in the mix. So as the springtime comes along, so Dunkel's lighter than the stout, so it's kind of ready, it's a darker beer, but ready for spring. And so all that stuff has to be taken into account. Really, the seasons determine, how often it's to have to.
Sure. And you had mentioned that he was laid off. So at the time that you made this decision, were you already retired from your teaching career?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah. So I retired pre-COVID and
good for you.
was working part-time as a remedial reading teacher in Belton. Went while we were building out the brewery, and I really retired in 2017, then did remedial reading part-time for a few years. And then we got the call about virtual learning, and Belton wasn't sure exactly how to use the remedial teachers virtually yet. So I remember getting the phone call and them saying it was the day before spring break was starting. And they said, we're just going to kind of wait till spring break is over and see if COVID comes to an end, and where we will need remedial reading teachers. And of course, COVID didn't come to an end in a week or two. So,
yeah.
And I remember being on a scaffold at that time. We were painting the ceiling of the brewery. And when I got the call, and I looked up and thought, no, this is a good time for me to be done. So I decided, nope, I'm all into the brewery and done with it, anything else. So,
yeah. Okay. Oh gosh. Well, it sounds like the timing was pretty good, except that if you were painting at the start of COVID, then maybe not so good timing.
COVID, one thing about building out during COVID was so many restaurants and breweries and bars and whatever were closing during COVID, but we didn't have anything to close. We were not open yet. So we took advantage of that and just built out during that time and extended our build out a little longer. And there were things that were tricky to purchase or to get supply of. Wood was astronomically priced. Our equipment was held up in Canada and for like an extra 6 weeks. So it just took longer to get some things, but we just tried to look at that as, okay, what can we do with that time, and what can we do extra? And that's when my like living room area came to play. Was I had time to kind of be more creative. So we put the garage door in. That was not there. That was because we used to be the Cass County Library, and so
Okay.
it was just a window there, and so we put the garage door in that space. We just utilized the time to get those things done. So it's
Sure.
okay
Sure.
if you look at the positive.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. And shifting gears just a little bit, because it is a spandex and wine. You had said when I had talked to you about today, you had said it's your day off and it's your prep day, and you were cooking a bunch of meals and getting ready.
Yeah.
So tell me about your nutrition and your fitness
Oh, good
regimen, what you do.
Lord. I eat like a 5-year-old half the time. Seriously. We are so busy. No, I'm trying to rethink all that, because I mean, there were times that we would be at the brewery building out until like 11 at night, until we got the
Oh,
last
yeah.
minuscule bit of light we could to do things. And
Yeah.
there was the Mary's Mountain Cookie next door. We would have people would show up all the time when we were building out, with beer, and just pop by and say hello and see how things are going. And then we would have a beer and cookies for dinner it's ridiculous. And now we have Burn Theory at Broken Hatchet. If you are familiar with Diametric Brewing in Lee Summit,
Yeah.
they are one of our favorite breweries and very dear friends of ours. But they have Burn Theory food truck, and that they own in their parking lot. Sounds like just any old food truck. Oh no, it's like master chefs, So Taylor and Chris and Devin, and Sean and everyone who participates in cooking there, it's just amazing food. So they were looking to have a second location for their truck, and we were looking to bring a food source down to Main Street in Belton, because there just isn't evening food enough. So
Yeah.
we dealt with trying to schedule food trucks all the time, sometimes successfully, and sometimes, they don't show, or their truck breaks down, or blah, blah, blah. So we partnered with them in this endeavor. They got the food truck. It's permanently parked in the back of our building. And right now we just have Burn Theory on Fridays and Saturdays, but we have them from noon to 9. And so we're looking to expand those to maybe Thursday or Sunday. If they hear this right now, they're probably like, oh, we don't know, but no, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So we're going to be adding another day or so in there for the spring, and see how that goes. And we eat from that quite a bit.
Okay. No, I understand.
Their
Yeah.
food, it's amazing. So
Yes. The last time we were
yeah,
in, we had some and it was so good.
it's big food. So we do that a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah, there are times we don't get to eat, and that sort of thing. But we're closed on Mondays, and January, February, we close down on Tuesdays also. So
Okay.
those days I try to prep food so that we can take healthy food to work on Wednesdays and Thursdays,
Yeah.
so on. And then, of course, Burn Theory Zero on the weekends, and then we eat that.
Yeah.
So, it's horrible. Yeah, I don't even
It sounds like you're trying to balance it as best you can.
It's not easy, but I look at the equipment in the background of where you are, and yeah, that's kind of like our basement is massive amounts of equipment that I often have to dust. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, we go in and out. Like, we get fit, and then we get fat. we get fit, we get fat. Yeah, like it's a problem. But
Well, I mean, with running your own business, I don't think people understand how much you put into it, especially since it's just the two of you. I mean, I know you have employees that work for you, and they are all awesome, the ones that we have met.
yes,
But it is so much behind the scenes, and
it
it's
is a
late nights
lot
and it's
behind
early
the
mornings, and
is, and
yeah,
it is exhausting and stressful. But so when you have some downtime, you just want to be down. You just want to relax.
yeah,
Um or go
Yeah.
do something. There are so many new breweries that we haven't had a chance to explore. We just went
Yeah.
to Force Brewing to watch the parade last Wednesday, I guess it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we hadn't been there. So we loved it. And, but we just thought, okay, we got to get out and go, give kudos to owners of new breweries that
Yeah.
have been through, that are going through what we have been through. And so we try to do that too on our days off, so we try to squeeze
Yeah.
these things
Yeah.
in. So we're ever busy. We're ever busy, but,
Yeah.
I take this stress and this busy over corporate stress and corporate busy any day. So,
Yep. Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Well, the other cool thing that we like about the breweries too, and I don't know if other people do this or not, but they all have stickers and we love collecting the stickers. And then the cups too. My grandson absolutely loves the cups because he can choose like what color he wants to drink out of that day. You guys are red right now because we got the red ones the last time we were there.
Yes, and we have purple and gold too, because that's Belton School colors. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's just so fun. Just something different that when you go to different breweries that you can get. And we have an old refrigerator that we put all the stickers
Oh,
on.
yeah, same. That's still in our garage, but people go all over the world and
Yeah.
bring back stickers. And we put, as long as it's not a sticker we already have, we put it on the cold room door. So the cold room door and our room door are just jam packed full of stickers, and I love it. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
when customers send us photos that they see our sticker somewhere, or they take a picture of
Uh-huh.
them placing our stickers in new breweries or, all over the world. Seriously, we're all over Ireland. So that's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. Knowing that at this moment, someone's looking at your sticker maybe halfway around the
I
world.
know. I love
That's
it.
cool. Yeah, yeah. Well, if you don't mind, like tell the listeners where exactly you're located, where they can find you on social media, and maybe some upcoming events that you know of. You already mentioned that you're going to do your 3-year anniversary in June.
Mhm.
Anything else coming up this summer?
Yeah. I'm going to kind of work my way to my calendar as you say that, because
Okay.
I'll forget something important, of course. Um, yeah. So definitely every Friday. Look what I'm wearing. Okay. Every
Oh, nice. I like your shirt.
Saturday,
Yes.
we have Burn Theory Fire Kitchen from noon to 9. So that's important to remember, because it's a great place to eat. Um, on social media, I think you asked me that first. We definitely have a website that struggles. So we have a website that has very little information, but it has some great pictures in there. But our main
Okay.
social media is Facebook. Um,
Okay.
we put multiple posts every single day on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
so that
Mm-hmm.
there's no way, if you're on Facebook, that you don't know, if you like us on Facebook or follow us, there's no way you miss, any kind
Okay.
of information. So any new beers coming out, any events we have, our hours are posted every day, and just, so this weekend, on Friday the 23rd, we're doing a raffle for Chain of Hope dog fostering organization. Last year we did it and raised over $4,000 for the Chain of Hope. And so I was
Nice.
poured up by that. So we have multiple baskets. Amber Seller is the director of that event. And we'll have multiple baskets and lots of food and people, and um, you can buy raffle tickets for the baskets and so on. So that's coming up on Friday. And then March, we'll have Snake Saturday on the 16th. That's important to remember, because we'll have a parade at 5 o'clock, and then we release our Annie's Irish Red Ale. And
Oh, nice. That's fun.
that'll be fun, because Belton's still, the Belton downtown's still kind of old fashioned and pretty eclectic. So they
Yeah, I
like,
like it.
the old school parades and so on. We will be reopening on Tuesdays, starting the first Tuesday of March. I believe that's March 5th. The first Thursday of every month, we do a cribbage tournament. So it's a British.
Oh, fun. I love cribbage. Awesome.
Yeah. So it's real laid back. They'll teach you how to play. You can shadow someone, or you've got people who get kind of competitive, but we give away crowlers that night. So, and it costs $5, and the $5 go in a pool, and the first place winners get the pot. And Mary's Mountain Cookies next door, they give away cookies, and it's just really cool. We have Amy Leadingham with
Nice.
Pottery Pub. About once every couple months, she comes in and does a pottery painting class. Those are all posted.
Cool.
Those events are posted on our Facebook. Johnny Ray, she's an amazing artist, painter. She does usually once a month. She'll do a painting class, and she usually pops it at like 25 to 30 students. So it's a pretty, big deal. And starting in April, the 4th Saturday of every month from April to October, we have a car show. It's like really cool. Anything from old vintage cars to brand new hot rods or whatever. They are just lined in the street from one end to the other. It's
cool.
We have food trucks. We have Burn Theory. If the weather's nice, it's like the perfect event to bring your kids around. And you've got the diner down the street, Terrace Cafe, that's open. Random's Coffee Shop is open. You have Wild Poppy and Marcella's Boutiques, both across the street from ours, that
nice.
Have really cool, items to shop for. It's just a neat place that, sometimes it gets forgotten, that little downtown has a lot going on. But anytime there's anything going on down there or at the brewery, we post it. We have specials,
Great.
Our food specials, all that's on our Facebook page. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
All the time. So.
Very cool. Oh, that's wonderful. And I'm assuming it's your Facebook is Broken Hatchet.
Yes. Broken Hatchet Brewing, not brewing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Got it. I'll make sure that I put that in the show notes too, so everyone can find you.
Please do. Absolutely. Yeah. So we love when we see new faces, and we have a lot of old faces that grace our presence, all the time. And it's just like family there. And it takes, I
love it. Yeah.
That family, no time at all to be part of that family. So
that community feel is always good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for taking time today and just sharing all about Broken Hatchet.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. I love it. Give a girl a microphone.
There you go. All right. Thanks, Cara. Thanks, Cara. That was so much fun. I'm anxious to stop by the brewery and hopefully catch you the next time we're in and share a beer with you. Here are a few takeaways. 1, support your local brewery. I guarantee you'll love it and experience a community feel. 2, an opportunity to follow your dream might just be a few steps or brews away. Go all in with plan A and no plan B and make it happen. 3, owning your own business involves an immense amount of work behind the scenes. Frequent small businesses as much as you can. They truly appreciate you. 4, grab a sticker at the brewery and start a fun collection. Make sure to look up Broken Hatchet, follow them, and grab a beer when next time you're in Belton. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to follow Spandex and Wine so you don't miss an episode. To do this, just go to the podcast and click subscribe or follow wherever you're listening. Look for the plus sign or follow button. This is one of the best things that you can do for the podcast. If you'd also be willing to give a 5-star review, that would be amazing and much appreciated. Lastly, please share an episode with a friend or 5 to keep the love going, and join the Spandex and Wine community in our private Facebook group by searching Spandex and Wine. Feel free to reach out to me at any time by emailing info@spandexandwine.com or text me at 913-392-2877. I appreciate you. Thank you.